Hi everyone, my surname is Banze. As you know, guys, I'm always delighted to receive you on my YouTube channel. It is, guys, a great pleasure to be with you, interacting with you, talking with you, sharing my experience, sharing the knowledge that God has been blessing me in order to share it with you. Thank you very much for your presence, guys, on this YouTube channel, guys. And today, I'm bringing for you this new episode of our podcast, guys. Today, for this first episode, I have here my special guest. Do you know who is my special guest? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Ostel Magujo. Welcome, Mr. Ostel Magujo.
Hello everyone. How are you today? My name is Magujo. I'm a teacher, an English teacher.
Okay.
I'm also a student,
Okay.
and I would like to share with you some skills, things with Mr. Banze here. I'm honored and delighted to be in your podcast. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Mister.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you just to receive my invitation.
Yeah.
It's a great honor for me to receive you here in this in my first episode. Being here, I'm really happy just to receive you.
Thank you. So
Okay.
that's it.
Okay, so guys, I'm here today with Mr. Ostel Magujo to talk about the academic life. But before we go on debating about that, I would like to know. A lot of people are worried worried. They could know who is that guy? Who is Ostel Magujo? Could you tell us a little bit in a short word? Who is Mr. Ostel Magujo?
Perfect. Thank you. In a nutshell, I am a student,
Okay.
political scientist. Okay. I am also an English teacher.
Okay.
I love this area.
Okay.
I'm interesting in many things,
Okay.
but I'm a youth,
Okay.
21. Okay.
What?
And-
Are you 21?
of course.
Okay, that's it.
It's like I'm getting older and older, but I'm really a youth. That's it.
Something like you said that you are a political student. I would like to know from you, like, where do you start? People are curious. Want to know where does Mr. Ostel Magujo is studying?
Perfect. I'm no longer studying because I had finished my course last year at UM, and I also knew English there. Okay,
Okay.
not knowing like starting it, but developing my skills and so on. I started also there, and that's it. I finished the course last year, and I'm writing now. I'm finishing my monography, and I invite you to be there also. At the ceremony with other guys. And thank you. I'm honored and delighted to be here. Thank you once
So,
again.
thank you once again, Mr. Gabriel. And I believe that in this podcast, we're going to learn a lot of things with Mr. Ostel Magujo. As you saw, he's a student, he's a political scientist. I believe that as soon as possible, you're going to be celebrating your graduations. We hope that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but as well, guys. Okay, let's get from Mr. Magujo. Mr. Magujo, tell us, according to your point of view, what does it mean in academic life for you, Mr. Magujo?
Academic life can mean a lot of things. For others, can be a boring journey.
Oh my God!
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for others, can be a boring journey, something harmful, terrible. But for me, it's something which was astonishing, amazing, and I could learn a lot of things during these 4 years of myself at university. So academic life is the process, okay, where the student is has the first contact with new contents, with new things or areas that he already expected in his past. You see, because when you're attending a new course, of course you read and you do a search about it. But when you are there studying it, knowing teachers that are well known in that area, it's a different experience and so on. So academic life has to do with the process, the journey. A student is looking for knowledge, is looking for developing his skills.
Oh, interesting. So, going on that point, Mr. Magujo, a lot of people, when you talk about the academic life, they have been asking me, Teacher Banze, how can I have a successful academic life? Teacher Banze, what's going on with me? My academic life is not going well. I'm failing. I know students who at UM, at UP, at John University. They are there, they are there for more than 6 years old and studying. And they used to tell me like, hey, Teacher Banze, my academic life is not going well. So tell me, what's going on with those students? Why they don't have this academic life successfully?
Okay, perfect. You know, um, of course, there are some tips, okay, to improve your academic journey and so on.
Okay.
And I remember when I got in the first year at university,
Okay.
my public administration
So let
teacher.
when did you get at university? To make it clear.
It was it was 2020.
Wow, good.
Yeah,
2020.
2020.
Now we are in 2024. That's
Yeah,
good.
it was 2020. My first year at university, I remember the words of my public administration teacher. I mean, then he said, by this time you will know that you will have to leave many things that you put as a habit in your life.
Okay, good.
You will have to reduce the time when you are enjoying with your friends. You will have to reduce the time which you are watching movies, and so on. You will have to take away many things that you were accustomed into.
Okay, good.
So improving your academic life has to do with knowing yourself first, because we have, in psychology, for example, we have different kinds of learning skills. For me, learning can be something which is easy in the midnight, for example. I know students that they produce a lot during the midnight, but some during the day.
Okay.
So knowing yourself
So
first.
what about yourself?
Like, I'm a person who likes to produce during the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to take the time of resting to rest.
Okay.
I do all my activities, from 6 o'clock up to 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, from that on, I prefer to sleep, relax my mind. I not feel like I'm losing anything, because I know that the next day I will be hurrying myself and working hard.
So if you have an exam, how do you do that? How do you deal with that? Do you still sleeping, or you need to sacrifice a little bit of your time?
An exam?
Yes, when you have an exam, one test, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, imagine if, for example, you're a student and you used to leave content to study at once in one branch in one day. It will be really difficult, and it will need you to spend or to stay up all the night. It's difficult. So when I was okay with the old guy, I forgot his name now, but he said, if you study at school or you learned, just start. You learn, just start. It means that today you studied about math, for example.
Okay.
When you arrive at home, why don't you do a kind of review of that contents? You start it and starting, step by step, enjoying all the contents instead of leaving all the contents to start in one period of time. It's really difficult.
So you mean that one of the big one of the big issues that most of the students doesn't have like a successful academic life, it is that they doesn't sacrifice. They don't have like this personal time to study. They don't have time to study, improving their skills in their area. Is it?
Of course, in the process of learning and teaching, the teacher has, do not let me lie, the teacher has something like 25%, okay? While yourself as a student, you have, the 75%. It means that the majority of effort, the majority of endeavor will be done by a student. It's yourself who have to do the research. It's yourself who have to read the books. It's yourself who have to go and fight until your body becomes dust. You see, a teacher is a kind of instructor, which is to guide yourself, giving you, the areas and so on, directing yourself through an objective. But the teacher will not teach you, for example, all about chemistry or math in 45 minutes. It means that all the things related to chemistry you will have to be learning, for example, outside the classroom.
Okay. Interesting. Now we're in August. Is that for July now? We're about to get to August.
August, in
We're
fact.
end of July, and it's missing just 5 months to the students start to do their exams. I would like to get from you, what is the secret? What would you like to advise to the student to do in order to get like a wonderful result, a successful result in their academic life?
Students of universal attending students.
Oh,
Of course.
so when we start, do we have a difference about students of university, students of secondary school?
I think the objective is the same, is to be successful.
Okay.
That's to be, yeah, I think it's not like something which it will make much difference. Okay. Of course, the level of responsibility it's higher when at university and so on. But the context that you're learning now will be helpful in the next years and so on. But if you want to be a successful student, for example, at school, I think you have to first know yourself. Okay, which is your goal? Where do you want to reach? What's your plans and so on? Because if you take academic life as something which is suffering, which is boring, which it's harmful, terrible, you will not reach the goal. You will just do it just to show that yourself that you are a student, but inside your mindset will still the same. So that's our goal. We have to change the mindset of the student so that you can see that knowledge is something which is good when you have. Of course, you have to control, but you do not get the knowledge just being someone lazy. Okay, you have to fight.
Interesting.
Okay, it's a process.
It's interesting. So what is advice for the people? I don't know if it is right or is wrong. There's some people says like pray a lot to God and God will give you knowledge. So there is students who don't separate time to start. There's students who don't make a plan about their academic life, and they go to the church. There's always a praying, calling out the names of God, and they go to the exam and they fail in the exam. What is advice for those guys?
No,
Okay.
this kind of miracle is something strange, and it couldn't be something good because imagine a person that didn't give time himself to study, and the person suddenly have good marks. No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Of course, you have.
How does it work that miracle when your academic life? Okay, how does it work that miracle? Because I'm telling you something. There's these students who are always asking to the pastor, pray for my academic life. Pastor, pray for me. Pastor, please, I have exam this year. I want to succeed. Pastor, I'm gonna play for the university. I want to succeed. And they don't study. They separate time to study. At the end of the
Yeah,
exam, they fail it. What is the secret for those guys? Okay.
Of course, of course. You have to understand that we have responsibility as a student.
Okay.
And process learning, okay, let me tell you, learning is one of the slower process that we have in the world.
Okay.
Learning, it has and it requires time. We have to regard time.
Okay.
So how do you think that God will just do this kind of miracles without knowing anything? It's really, it's not in some, it's not.
But
in
people
sense.
getting it first. People are fasting.
Yeah, of
People
course.
are praying.
Of course,
Okay.
people, just one thing is lazy. And lazy things, if you pay attention, lazy things do not, gives you good results at the end. Okay, you have to support what you know. If you
Okay.
want to apply to university, just do an effort related to it. Okay, just study hard, just give time to yourself and so on. Of course, you have to pray God so that you can be someone which is able to give time to yourself because
Okay.
there are people that have this kind of disturbs
Okay.
which they cannot separate time. They do not know how to organize their schedule
Okay.
and so on. So what God will do is giving you people to direct yourself and so on, such as this podcast, for example. It is helping you.
Okay.
So as you are watching it, just try to take out
Okay.
some
Okay.
tips and so on. But no, do not stay like God will give me it like I will take chemistry.
Guys, are you
psychology,
hearing from?
and so
Are you
on.
hearing? Are you hearing
It's
Mr.
really crazy,
Gabriel Magujo?
Yeah.
Don't pray. Pray. It's necessary to pray. Pray. Read the Bible. Forget and fast. But you need to separate time to study. If you don't study, guys, you can first. You can pray for 1 hour, 2 hours.
Okay.
But if you don't study, if you don't make a plans about your academic life, you're gonna fail, guys. So please don't always ask the pastor, pray for me. I want to pray. I want to succeed. I want to pass the exam. Pray. Ask the pastor to pray for you and separate time to study. Invest in your academic life. Thank you, Mr. Magujo, for that. Yeah, and I would like to know from you. Could you tell us a little bit stories about you? I know it's not easy to get at university, especially in Rwanda University, Pedagogical University, Traditional University. Those public universities, it's very hard to get there here in Mozambique. What was your secret to be there? What did you do in order to be there? Because students that are curious, they want to be there. They are revolted. They want to achieve that goal that you have already achieved. They want to be at university. They want to be lucky doing a chemical engineering at the Edward Mulani University. They want to be doing maths at UP. People's are worried. There's a lot of y'all who are interested about getting at university. Tell us about telling us your story. What was the secret for you to get there into university?
Yeah, that's it. Of course, we have our own experience and so on. It's not like telling my experience to you, watchers. It will be something which is magical and so on. But I think it will help you understanding how things work for other people and so on. And for myself,
Okay.
there's a guy, a friend of mine. Then he said, do not try to do something when you know that you will not be one of the best.
Okay, wow.
You see?
That's interesting for talk. Wow.
Yeah, then he said, do not do something when you know that you will not be the best doing that. I hear that. I
Okay.
got a stone shit.
Okay.
Then I said, what is this guy? Is this guy crazy?
Okay.
No, it's like, you are just boosting yourself. It's not
Okay,
like
good,
that.
good, wow.
It's like, you have to put in your mind that it's really a process it's a trace, you know. You have to run. You have to run hard and so on. If you do not run, if you do not do the effort, you know, that it's regarded to apply there, that you will stay behind and so on. Because when you are playing football, for example, there is a guy that is starting. When you're watching, for example, which is the series that we have now.
Okay, our podcast.
Yes, podcast.
Okay.
No, not let's like the series, movies and so on. Is there a famous movie now?
Scorpion, you can watch
Okay,
Scorpion.
if you are watching Scorpion, for example, during all the midnight, for example, staying 6 hours, if you are on WhatsApp, Facebook, you know, putting your stage, updating your status during all the weekend, during the day, how do you think you will be able to face an exam that has been made by, you know, great people and so on, and you want to evaluate you? So just put in your mind, when you are kidding, people are working. When you are joking, people are giving themselves to achieve their goals. It's really important to think about it. Of course, you know, just try to organize your schedule. The time you get in the internet, WhatsApp, you know, it will not help you. Of course, we have to get there in order to talk to friends and so on, Facebook and so on. But you know, just try to organize your schedule. Just give time to yourself to study hard. Just give time for you to be and you know different people, friends, older people that will have you and give you some tips and so on. You see, so do not think things will happen in a sudden. There is a process you have to fight. You see.
You tell that you said that when you wanted to get at university, you had to change your schedule. You had to change your careers. You know, you changed all your schedule. You started to cut off something that wouldn't alert your skills in order to succeed the exam. Is it that you were telling us?
Of course, of course. By that time, it was 2020. I was a person that loved to be on Facebook.
No, you got there at 2020.
Yes.
You were by that year. I mean that you get ready for that exam in 2029, right?
Yes, 2019. I was there.
2019, right?
Yes, I was there preparing myself. It's like, you know, the first thing I did by that time, it was, you know, why don't I put off my Facebook, for example? Okay. Yeah, I had to do that.
Did you put off your Facebook?
Yes, I did.
Really?
That by that
For
time.
how long?
You know, of course, I still you know, remember that, you know, it was something like 4 months without getting on Facebook, and it is a habit. Myself, I did not get on Facebook. I think, you know, 4 months and so on. When I get there, just to see something really important and so on, you know, it's the way I found because I know myself. You see,
during that time that you were getting ready to get at university, what time did you wake up? What time did you go did you go to the bed?
I use it to wake up. Sleeping, it's important. Okay, it's really important to sleep when you want to be a person which is able to understand the things and to learn and so on. Okay, for me, it's, you know, difficult to hear the person saying that, you know, you have to stay all the night and so on. It's really, you know, difficult. Our mind is a computer. It has to process information, and it has to give time to rest so that you can be someone which is able to understand it. So, you know, giving time to yourself to rest, it's important. Okay, I use it to wake up at about 6 o'clock. I could do my housework and so on. From 8 up to 3 p.m. I was studying by myself, for example.
Yes, of course. Let me count 3, 4, 3, from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. More than
8 hours. You see, 8 hours. Of course, it was not
So
something which I was doing during the day. I could start 1 hour watching 1 episode. Reduce, for example, the number of episodes. Do not watch 3, 4. Just watch 1. Okay, you go, you relax, you talk to your friends and so on. Then you come back and so on. What was I studying 8 hours? It's because I knew that, you know, there are people preparing themselves at Turma dos Revoltados. There are people studying hard at Copeia. There are people, this time I'm watching episode. There are people studying, crying.
So it's most important that you recognize that if you are applying at university, you are not alone. You are applying.
You are applying, you know. Yeah. You know,
that
it's a race.
So that there's a lot of people who are looking for that vacancy that you are applying for. So if you want to get that vacancy, you have to study hard.
And people that are staying and waiting during 3 years.
Oh my God!
You see, a person that is trying to apply in the first semester during 3 years. Imagine that kind of person. The person, of course, is, you know, enlightened in that subject. The one has all the skills of that subject. And yourself, that you have finished grade 12, and you have to do the very same test and exam. It's really, you know, tough enough.
In a short word, tell us how was the emotions when you saw that you were admitted at university? Tell us about that emotions.
You know, it was 1 p.m. when I saw the results.
Okay.
It was 1 p.m.
How was your heart?
Yeah, you know, because I saw, I saw the advertisement there that said, you know, the the results are already available.
Okay.
Then I said, I will not see it now, okay? Because I knew by that time, if I fail this year, I will not study.
Okay.
Yeah, by that time, I haven't
Yes.
money to pay to university. And said,
Okay.
if I not apply to university, I will not start. I will stay
Okay.
during
Okay.
all the year trying to start again.
Okay.
I have to give myself time to do it.
Okay.
Then it was 1 p.m., I was sleeping. Then I woke up. My father has already seen my results.
Oh my
Okay.
God!
Yeah, of
Your
course.
father did it on this?
It did.
Oh my God!
He just print the A4 paper in his job.
Okay,
He
okay.
didn't say nothing. Then I saw it 1 p.m. I didn't sleep in that night.
Oh my God!
Yeah, when I saw,
Okay.
I really got, it was wonderful. It
I
was
mean,
a
that day-
masterpiece, a cracker jack.
I mean, that day your parent maybe bought for you one Coke, something.
No,
sweet for you.
look at their smile and their puzzled face was something which,
Okay,
couldn't buy,
okay.
Yeah, I saw them happy. It was really astonishing for me.
There's something that you told him that I mean it's very important. You said that before you see the result, you talk to yourself like, man, if I fail this year, I won't start. I need to get ready for myself during 1 year. Guys, I want to tell you some things. If you are looking to get at university, if you're planning to get a university, guys, think about that. Why are you studying? Man, if you fail, I'm telling you, if you fail, you will not study for 1 year. You will stay at home. And I'm telling you guys, staying at home for 1 year, it's dangerous. I'm telling you, staying at home for 1 year, it is dangerous. So, if you want to apply to university, pay attention to that. I'd rather we're hitting with our guest, the special guest of this podcast, Mr. Gabriel. And tell us, Mr. Gabriel, being there at university, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, it was interesting. There's a guy that said, sometimes and always, not sometimes, we will find people which are a little bit experts than ourselves, and they will help us, carrying us so that we can face the next steps.
Wow, good.
You see in our life. And at university, you have that opportunity of finding people that, is the second course that the person is attending.
Wow.
Imagine that kind of person. It's really a good friend to have in your side.
Wow.
You see, I could know many people, interesting people. Some are my friends now, and so on. And it was good for me to know, one of the best people in the areas you are attending.
Wow.
Imagine you're dreaming to be an engineer, mechanical engineer. The best people, are at university. Imagine to know them, to see them, and you see that, of course, it's possible to be a professional.
I would like to know from you. Do you think that your parent had an important impact in you? Did something special for you during your preparation for getting at university in order to get this successful academic life? Do you think of that?
Of course they did. Of course they did. Sometimes, unfortunately, some of our even watchers on YouTube may have a bad academic life, not because they're not giving time to themselves, but because they have, for example, to work hard, not to pay the university, for example, to catch the bus and so on. They are taking care of families. All those problems, of course, will make your progress, slower and slower.
Okay.
But my fathers at least could help myself because they could give me all the things that were necessary. I couldn't sleep, that tomorrow, how will I go there? No, I knew that I could catch a bus, I could eat something there. And it changed everything. I cannot say that, no, of course, it changed everything. Having parents that are supporting yourself, of course.
Now, you are about to graduate. I'd like to know from you, looking to the camera, what would you like to tell to your parents now?
Of course, hello father, hello mom, hello sister, little brother, because they were
You can just name them.
No, okay. My father is named Nelson. My mother is named Stan. My sister is Anya. My little brother Nelson. Okay, they were all important. Not only those, but it's like they are the people that are always with myself. And it was really good to have them in my life because sometimes I could wake up and see that my mom had prepared, for example, my breakfast, and so I could wake up and see that my sister helped me with my shoes and so on. While I'm there typing during the night, my father could come there also and give me something, a water, and it was really good and wonderful. So of course their effort, their support changed everything in this journey. And whenever I do now, it's like it doesn't go to end. Don't think that you finish university, everything is done. No, you have to say, I finished university, and I have now, to show this guy that it's really important to finish this journey.
Interesting.
Okay, it's bad, but
Interesting.
it's really good.
We're about to close our podcast with Mr. Magujo, and I'd like to know from you, Mr. Magujo, people about to apply to university, maybe about 5 months from now. What's your advice for them? What do you want to tell them in just 2, 3 words, please?
Well, um, you have reached the new steps in your life. You have reached new levels, and of course, God. Okay, for a Christian, that think that God has different plans for you, and just give yourself time to improve yourself. Okay, just preparate yourself. Just go to good spots so that you can be trained. Don't think I'm good enough to train at home. If you can train at home because you don't have enough money to pay, I understand. Okay, but if you can do that, just go to Tumadita, just go to this course, just call Mr. Banze. He will tell you people that can prepare you at university and so on. Look for people that can help you during this journey. Learning it's a process, and we are always changing, sharing skills with person and so on. It's not something which you will do by yourself. No, of course we need people in our side. You see.
Okay, thank you very much. And what about the people that are worried to get fluently, the people that are looking to get their fluence, are looking to get confident in their speaking? What advice for those guys, please?
Well, hear me well on this day when you are deciding on next steps, next jobs, careers, further education. It's really important for you to know that English, it's, of course, a wonderful thing because it gives you the opportunity of knowing different cultures and so on. So being fluent, improving your accent, it's something really toughen, but it's possible. Speaking the language is really something which will help you not get afraid. Like Mr. Bass can invite you, for example, now, and he say, I want you in my podcast. Then you can get afraid, scared of it. No, just come here, face the camera, face the persons, and so on, and you will improve. Having good materials is also important. Having good teachers, okay, because sometimes you cannot be developing because you not have good teachers. We have here he is an English teacher. I'm an English teacher. If you feel like you can call us. We have here New Inside Out. I bought it from Institute de Language. It's really good books. My father gave me. It's something good, and just use English in your everyday routine. If you're a person, for example, that loves listening to music, why don't you download the lyrics, for example, so that you can listen to music and while you are understanding what you're saying? If you're a person that loves, for example, reading, why don't you put English in that reading sections? For example, you're a Christian, you have a Bible. Why don't you download an English Bible so that you can, here Jeremiah was called by God, and God said that, he will be a different person and so on. It will help you during the day. While, for example, you are reading the Bible in Portuguese, just replace it. Put it in English. Of course, the first day will be something different and difficult, but just try. Just be consistent. That's one of the problems. People are not consistent. They start something and they stop.
Okay, they forgot that it's a process.
It's a process.
You need to be constant.
It's a process. Yeah, just try and see how will this podcast be in 3 years or 2 years. I mean, it will be different. Okay. So
thank you,
like
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ostel Magujo, once again for your presence here on my podcast. I'm really excited to receive you on my podcast. Thank you. Guys, it was an interesting moment being here with you discussing about the academic life, why the people are not having successful academic life, why the people are failing, and what is the secret to have this successful academic life. Thank you very much for it. Before we close it, I would like to ask you some brief consideration to our followers on YouTube, please.
Thank you. I'm honored and delighted once again to be here in this program. I hope this topic helps you improving your skills, sharing skills with other people, and so on. And any doubt, you can look or write that down in your comments. We'll trying to answer your questions and so on. And we see each other as soon as possible. Yeah, that's it. And thank you. It was a great opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Banze.
Thank you.
I met Mr. Banze, 2 years or 3 years ago. And by that time I was studying only, and he helped me during this journey. So I advise you to look for good friends so that you can be someone which is reaching different steps in your life.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel. Guys, we are about to close our podcast, and I want to say once again thank you for your presence, guys. Please comment in our YouTube channels what you understood here and which kind of topic would like to hear us regarding here in our podcast. And please share this podcast with your friends, family, everyone who is applying, who is looking for a successfully academic life. Guys, my name is Banze, and it was a good pleasure. Bye bye. See you soon.